Enjoy real value online with TM Pick and Pay Click and Collect. It's time for the news.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on tonight's Sunday edition. We are broadcasting live from our Pocket Hill studios right here in the capital city, Harare. My name is Joyce Mabika.
And I am Yvonne Mukonde. Nepiso Ijo Munika gives us a bulletin in sign language, and Marilyn Gwenya will join us from Montrose. So let's take a look at our leading stories for tonight.
Zimbabwe's beverages sector emerges top performer in the country's manufacturing sector.
In our This and That feature, we celebrate South African football legend Lucas Hadebe, whose illustrious career has inspired many other African footballers.
In our This and That feature, our reporter Gay Matambo takes us through the process of pre-harvest sugarcane burning.
And in sports buzz, Cape United and Highlanders back to winning ways after clinching victories in PSL matches.
Well, those are some of the stories to look forward to in this Sunday edition, but first up, the main news.
Zimbabwe's beverages sector is reaping benefits of increased investments after emerging as the top performer in the country's manufacturing sector since January this year.
Presenting a mid-term review of the manufacturing sector, Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries CZA President Mr. Kumbere Macheza highlighted the notable strides achieved by some manufacturing entities. Despite a drought-induced shocks, the CZA findings reflect a resilient industry dominated by the beverages sector.
There are quite a number of issues that came out of the budget statement of 2024, and those issues we are following up with the authorities to make sure that they are addressed. But despite those issues, we've got other sectors that are actually resilient in this environment. I can talk of the beverages, I can talk of the brick making sector, I can also talk of the coming in of the Manize steel plant in Mvuma. That sector is going to actually drive this economy. As you know, it is one of the biggest steel plants in Africa.
The manufacturing sector is upbeat of achieving an over 60% capacity utilization rate by the end of the year. The manufacturing sector is also pinning hopes of sustained growth on the upcoming 7th SADC Industrialization Week as a platform to attract regional investors and more exports into the trading bloc. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
A joint mission of the African Union, United Nations and Southern African Development Community is in the country to craft and assess drought mitigatory measures.
The joint mission, which visited Masvingo province, started by engaging the Provincial Disaster Risk Management Committee before a field visit to communities around Masvingo. The discussions were centered on the impact of drought in the province, where it was revealed that Masvingo experienced a 65% food deficit this season, and 72% of the provincial herd is currently at risk. Government and development partners are implementing various mitigatory measures, and communities are hopeful about the future.
Gadheni redu tanga tichishandisa mvura yomudhamu iro rakutopera mvura asi nekuda kwokuti hurumende yakaona kuti kunofanirwa kuva nema-community business vakatigadzirira.
The village business units have also proved to be a game changer in rural communities.
We are happy that this concept of the rural industrialization is anchored on village business units will actually drive the livelihoods of our people in all the 35,000 villages in this country.
President vedu vari kuita zvinhu zvakawanda kufanana nema business unit gardens aya muri kuona ari pano kuti tive tichikwanisa kuti village by village iwane business unit yakadai.
Speaking after an interface with villagers, the head of delegation applauded government for its local response strategies.
To support the communities to alleviate the impact of drought, in different communities, but by creating this village business unit is a good initiative, and sincerely we encourage it. And because it is an initiative which contributes to the building of the resilience of the communities and fight also the poverty. And it is an initiative to encourage.
The visit comes at a time when over 61 million people throughout the SADC region are affected by the El Nino-induced drought. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
The resuscitation of Mbembeswana Irrigation Scheme in Chirumanzi district by government and the local community is set to benefit about 150 families from the district.
Recurring droughts have resulted in most rural communities moving away from rain-fed agriculture, with irrigation development identified as a key accelerator to food security. To mitigate the effects of climate change and build resilience for vulnerable households in the Midlands province, government and the local community are working flat out to resuscitate and modernize Mbembeswana Irrigation Scheme.
Mbembeswana dam ririmo asi hapana chaikwanisika kuitika tiri toga, asi tinoda kungotenda hurumende yakatiunzira kuti tiite madiridziro irrigation scheme yedu.
Tozotenda nezvavakatiitira wose hurumende, mapaipi akaisiwa, mapampu avepo.
Aiwazve tave vanhu vanenge tave pamusoro nokuti kurima kuchaita kuti tidzidzise vana, tigoendesa vana kuzvikoro, vana kumakoleji, nesu kugara kwedu kunenge kwanaka, tine tave nezvinhu zvedu.
Government is confident that the resuscitation of Mbembeswana Irrigation Scheme is a game changer in stimulating household and national food security.
Commitment here by the community is tremendous. We understand, of course, that in the middle of a rural area like this, when such a scheme comes on board, it should and it will certainly impact livelihoods and improve livelihoods in these communities. We know that the send-up votes are coming in 3 weeks.
The development comes at a time when there is massive expansion of irrigation and dam infrastructure in the country to curb the effects of climate change. Karajushes, ZBC News, Kwero.
Ethanol producer Green Fuel has expanded its portfolio, venturing into cattle and stock feed production through value addition of sugarcane trash.
The effects of climate change through the recently experienced El Nino season have posed dire food insecurity, particularly on animals, as grazing lands and water sources are drying at an alarming rate. As part of its response to this situation, ethanol producer Green Fuel is now value-adding its sugarcane trash into producing stock feeds, with at least 50 tons being produced daily.
We felt the effect of the drought. So we're in a fortunate position where we have a lot of the byproducts from the sugarcane that we can use, and the ethanol process we can use to make stock feed. So here at the demo, we've put up a temporary feedlot to test our feed, and it mainly consists of sugarcane trash, sugarcane bagasse, the fiber, which we hydrolyze and cook to make it more digestible, and then we also have the yeast from the fermentation from the ethanol.
The company is confident it will meet local demand, with production plant set to be up and running by the end of next month.
We are capable of producing much more, even for the local community. We have also, the investors have invested in a feed plant, a proper feed plant, which will be running shortly, maybe early mid-July.
Visiting the plant this Friday, the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka, was impressed by the development, which is set to complement government efforts in responding to the effects of drought.
They are able now to put in yeast. They are also now able to do molasses, and they are able to do feed. And here is their demo feedlot to show that they can contribute to the President, His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa's drought measures and strategies. So we are now able, perhaps from next week onwards, to get a contribution from green fuels towards mitigation for this drought.
The latest development is a milestone in line with government's rural industrialization drive. Apart from ethanol production, green fuel is also supplying around 9 megawatts of electricity into the national grid. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chipinge.
The presidential Got Pass On scheme was launched this Saturday in Bulawayo as part of government efforts to improve welfare and livelihoods of the country's citizenry through sustainable farming.
The presidential Got Pass On scheme launched in Bulawayo by Young Women for Economic Development saw over 60 goats being distributed to beneficiaries who applauded President Emmerson Mnangagwa for empowering women.
We are in the urban setting, but now because President Wakadzi who are in the urban setting are being left out. These goats Turukumaitira on a farm which he has given the young women for economic development.
Single mothers. It's
very key in empowering me. It gives me encouragement that I can also do it.
The beneficiaries were urged to work together in ensuring the Got Pass On scheme empowers more women in the community.
President wetu usinike amanye ama-projects i-horticultural projects lama-projects wonke siyayenzayo khonapha sifuna ukumubonga umono wabo ngokuthuthukisa ilizwe leZimbabwe kanye lokuthuthukisa abesifazane ule vision ukuthi sikwanisa ukuthi sihambe njalo ukuthi iZimbabwe ihamba kuhle.
In the history yonke elandelayo, it's not only men that are heroes. We've got women that are heroes. The heroicness of women is that they fought sometimes battles that were more difficult, that you cannot even use weapons to achieve what you wanted to achieve.
The presidential Got Pass On scheme is also central in growing the country's head.
Launcha Got Pass On scheme rakatangwa na president. Tangatiri ku Marsh West, Masvingo, then we are here in Bulawayo. Tikwenda kuna mango ma province ese tichiloncha mbudzi idzodzi. We are making sure kuti chasvika kuvanhu vakasiyana siyana.
These initiatives not only generate income but also provide a sense of purpose and empowerment.
Besides goat farming, women in urban communities under the Young Women for Economic Development banner are running thriving agricultural ventures. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Meanwhile, a voluntary advocacy group, Lawyers for Economic Development, has embarked on a program to offer free legal services to the public and promote easy access to the justice delivery system.
The Lawyers for Economic Development have come up with a program to bridge the gap between legal issues and communities by offering free legal aid services on inheritance, domestic violence, and constitutional matters. Speaking at the Lawyers for ED Stakeholders Consultative Meeting in Harare this Saturday, President of the organization, Advocate Melissa Dina, said the program is being rolled out in all the country's 10 provinces, targeting groups who cannot afford legal costs.
We are moving towards the 10 provinces of Zimbabwe and giving legal aid in inheritance issues, in issues of domestic violence, because we believe that we have a role to play in the economic revolution of Zimbabwe and in the progress and development of our nation.
The Lawyers for ED acknowledge positive legal developments in the country in the enactment of laws for socio-economic development, pledging to play their part in the lawmaking process.
We have seen quite a number of positive development in the field of law. Like, for example, we have seen recently the
the process of developing the PVO bill, which is going to impact positively in the development of the country.
If we have a department within the lawyers for ED, for example, the legal department, that legal department now should be able to spearhead if, for instance, there is a bill that we need to challenge or that we need to make a contribution, positive or negative in the sense. We then have to compile a report as lawyers for economic development.
The Lawyers for Economic Development has more than 300 affiliate members in the legal fraternity. The organization will also be helping the public on court formalities and processes in an effort to promote access to the justice delivery system. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Government has reiterated its commitment to improve the conditions of service for public servants, describing public service work as the springboard for accelerated development.
The Africa Public Service Day commemorations activities, which started 5 days ago, have culminated in the national celebrations held in Mtare this Sunday. Worker representative associations and the Public Service Commission expressed their commitment to continue working towards improving the public service conditions of service.
We will continue to engage the government to ensure your rights are protected, your voices are heard, and your needs are met. We will engage the government to invest properly in the public sector. We will push for policies and reforms that strengthen public institutions.
The Public Service Commission will seek to ensure improved industrial relations and to improve the capacity of the public servants to deliver to the people in a manner and in a fashion that is expected.
Manikali, the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Misheki Mugadza, outlines support by government to improve conditions of service.
Let me acknowledge and once again thank the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, for the immense support to the civil servants in Manicaland, which has enabled the following achievements that have empowered the civil servants, among others. Establishment of the civil servants rebate duty on motor vehicles, establishment of the GEMS loan scheme, provision of the buses that ferry civil servants to and from work, establishment of a contributory medical aid piece must partly paid by the government.
In his keynote address, the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable Julai Moyo, acknowledged the importance of public service in developing the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we were to develop a Zimbabwe, we need to continuously adjust the ways we conduct public service business. We need to change the conservative mindsets of the ways we carry ourselves. It should no longer be business as usual in Zimbabwe if Zimbabwe is to prosper and move along as well as compete in the global village.
Celebrations started on Wednesday this week across the country with a number of activities having been lined up. Kenya Sivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
Communities have been urged to take advantage of available resources to develop their areas in line with the country's devolution agenda.
A fundraising dinner to raise funds for the building of state-of-the-art multi-purpose hall was held in Masvingo this Saturday, hosted by Masvingo Development Trust Forum. Guest of honor at the event, Mr. Albert Nduna, challenged the business community to work with their community leaders in utilizing available resources to build their areas.
Instead of boasting that we have all natural resources, but they are standing there, they are under the soil and so on. Can the community benefit from it? And I congratulate Masvingo for doing that, for that inspiration. Take what God gave you into something which benefits the community.
Masvingo Development Forum Trust is focused on spearheading development projects in the province and is currently working on building a multi-purpose hall.
It's a trust which has been formed to select areas of specific development in Masvingo and fundraise for that, and also pursue the possibility of sustainable income generation projects to develop identified areas in the province.
Mune budiriro iri kuitiwa yakasimba. Zvikoro zviri kuvakwa, mabusiness infrastructure zviri kuvakwa zvekare, mamines ari kuitwa muno muprovince medu.
The fundraising dinner mobilized nearly 100,000 United States dollars. Ms. Machina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
Former Zambian Minister Mr. Aaron Michael Milner has died. He succumbed to pneumonia this Saturday at his Borodale home in Harare. He was 92.
Mr. Milner was a Zambian politician who served the Zambian government under President Kenneth Kaunda, holding different ministerial portfolios. Family spokesperson Mr. Philip Milner confirmed the death of his father.
Dad fell ill on Friday last week, where he was taken to visit the doctors, where they found that he had a chest infection. So he was put onto some strong medications, and Saturday, Sunday, you could see that the medication was working well. And then for some strange reason, he took a turn for the worse. Unfortunately, that passed away. They tried several times to resuscitate him, but there was no joy there.
Mr. Milner once became parliamentary secretary to Prime Minister Kenneth Kaunda after being elected member of parliament for Muchinga constituency in 1964. From 1964 to 1967, he was Minister of State for the Cabinet and Public Service. He was also appointed Minister of State for Presidential Affairs with special responsibility for information and broadcasting. He was also Minister of Transport, Power and Works in 1970 when he became Secretary General to the government. In 1978, he served as the Minister of Home Affairs and Defense. Milner was key in sourcing weapons for use by MPLA of Angola, ZAPU and ZANU of Zimbabwe, SWAP of Namibia, FRELIM of Mozambique, and ANC of South Africa in the quest for freedom. Mr. Milner is survived by 6 children and 11 grandchildren. Mourners are gathered at house number 274, Borodale Brook Avenue in Borodale. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
May his soul rest in peace. We're now crossing over to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, and Marilyn Ngwenya will join us from that end. It's a very good evening to you, Marilyn. It's over to you.
Many thanks to you, Joyce and Yvonne, and good evening to our viewers at home. In our following report, education ministries converged in Bulawayo to find common ground on heritage-based education and Education 5.0 model.
The induction workshop, which kicked off in Bulawayo this Saturday, was a platform for primary and secondary education and higher and tertiary education, science and technology development ministries to discuss ways to harmonize Education 5.0 and heritage-based curriculums.
We want to harmonize our curriculums. Both vision and mission of the two ministries must align with National Development Strategy 1, must align with National Development Strategy 2, which starts from 2025 up to 2030. So it is important for us to sit down as the two ministries so that we look at our strategies of ensuring that we provide quality education. A heritage-based curriculum is the main thrust is to ensure that learners are able to go in extra mile in innovating, in solving societal challenges so that they are able to produce goods and services that are needed by our people.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Professor Fanuel Tagwira, gave an overview of the nexus between the heritage-based curriculum and Education 5.0 model in the context of Vision 2030.
When you talk about heritage-based curriculum, we are talking about a curriculum that recognizes our diversity, our culture, and our natural endowments. In other words, as we train young people, let's train them about the things that surround them. The trees, the flora, the fauna, the minerals. And this is exactly the basis upon which Education 5.0 is built.
The Second Republic is on a drive to ensure the country's education system produces competitive graduates who are innovative, hence the emphasis on the Education 5.0 model as well as the heritage-based education model. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Walawai.
ZANU-PF Women's League continues to mobilize its members to take active roles during the current party cell restructuring process.
The ZANU-PF Women's League held an inter-district meeting in Mtasa this Saturday as the party wing rallies women to be at the center of the current party cell restructuring processes. ZANU-PF Manicaland Women's League acting provincial chairperson Comrade Mercy Sako says women are the heartbeat of the ruling party, hence they should be at the forefront of restructuring and mobilization drive.
As the president, cannot start Women's League. Ndimi heartbeat yemsangano ndofunga kwanza SG vachisimbisa shoko rekumasero kuti ikoko ndo kwatinotanga kunogadzira hwaro hwemusangano. Tagadzira hwaro hwemusangano tiri ikoko ndokunoratidza heartbeat yedu tiri kunyorana zvechopadere.
The wing's provincial and national leadership added its voice on the importance of the restructuring process while imploring women to be active players in the country's economic development initiatives.
Kana imba foundation ikashaisha kuitwa ndibhirita imba haimiri zvakanaka saka pari zvino hwaro huri kugadzirwa musangano wedu weZANU-PF ngehwekuwaka masero. Nyaya iri pakuti purezidendi wedu vanoti mune zvirimwa zvenyu zvemunorima kana zvikarimwa zvichinge zvakawanda vanokwanisa kuuya kuzotigadzirira kutipa imba yekuti mabhanana panguda atange kutogadzirwa yogati.
ZANU-PF Central Committee member Comrade Patricia Kudlande says the establishment of a fruit processing plant in Auna comes as sweet news to women.
Toda kutenda president wedu baba vamunangagwa. Ndanzwa pano kuchinzi kwai kunoku kwaMtasa taane mishini kuburikidza ndibaba. Ndibaba vedu vanodini vanogona.
The Women's League leadership says women have a huge responsibility to ensure the country attains Vision 2030 of becoming an upper middle income society. Kenya's Chivushe, ZBC News, Mutasa.
Youths in Chiredzi have been implored to shun drug and substance abuse as it affects their health.
Speaking on the sidelines of ZANU-PF Youth League Deputy Secretary for Finance, Comrade Kelvin Chauke's wedding this Saturday in Chiredzi, Comrade Tino Machakaire, who is the ZANU-PF Secretary for Youth Affairs, cited the need for concerted efforts in fighting drug and substance abuse.
Takatarisa senyika tenda mbudziko rezvinodhaka zvikutorwa nevana asi mukatarisa mumusangano wedu Chauke atora gwara rakanaka kana ukagadzira mhuri yako zvinoitawo kuti isu tinotungamirira vechidiki tinobva tazonzi aiwa ndonzira yakanaka inofanirwa kutorwa nevechidiki.
ZANU-PF Deputy Secretary for Youth Affairs, Comrade John Paradza, said the onus is on every household across the country to fight the menace of drug and substance abuse. Common drivers of drug and substance abuse include peer pressure, broken families, emotional and physical abuse, and curiosity, often resulting in addiction. Gamer Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
I'm an African Feature is coming up next. Was the poster boy for South Africa's Bafana Bafana in the 90s and captained Leeds United during that period, playing 262 matches for the English side. In our I'm an African Feature for tonight, we celebrate South African football legend Lucas Radebe, whose illustrious career has inspired other African footballers.
Lucas Hadebe started his football career as a goalkeeper at Kaizer Chiefs in 1989, but later switched to central midfield. All this did not bring the poster boy status until he switched to central defense, and his star continued to shine until his retirement in 2005. Hadebe made his in singer. His goalkeeping background would come in handy when he replaced John Lukic after he was injured with all the substitutes used in the second half of a defeat to Middlesbrough. Hadebe played again as a goalkeeper when Mark Bean was sent off for handling the ball outside his area in the 70th minute against Manchester United. Despite losing 1-0 in that match, Hadebe earned cult hero status at the club due to his performance. It was no surprise that Hadebe was named Leeds captain during the 1998-99 season and enjoyed a period of relative success as they finished fourth in the Premier League, qualifying for the UEFA Cup. It was a remarkable achievement, which was followed by yet another successful season as Leeds finished third in the Premier League in the 1999-2000 season, qualifying for the Champions League where they reached the semi-finals. Hadebe also enjoyed absolute success during that period as he became a poster boy for Leeds and Bafana before turning down offers to move to Manchester United, AC Milan and Roma. His star continued to shine as he was awarded the FIFA Fair Play Award in 2000. Hadebe later sustained a knee injury which took him out of the game for 2 years, signaling the end of his football career. He retired from professional football at the end of the 2005 season. It was not to go unnoticed as Leeds United held a testimonial for Hadebe at Elland Road on the 2nd of May in 2005, which was attended by over 35,000 supporters. Hadebe also hosted a retirement match in Durban, South Africa, between a South African 11 and Lucas Hadebe All-Stars at Kings Park Soccer Stadium. Hadebe was also an influential figure in South Africa's successful bid to host the 2010 World Cup. He earned 70 caps for South Africa, with his last match being Bafana's match against England in May 2003.
And that's it for myself, Marilyn Konya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. Sunday edition is off to a break. Do join Joyce and Yvonne on the other end for more.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZIG. Let's dive into what makes ZIG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZIG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show, it's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible, with denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins. It caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions, but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
Zimbabwe's mining legacy is a story etched deep in our soil. It's a tale of hard work, resilience, and human ingenuity in unearthing riches and building a nation. This commitment to progress continues as mining industry players continue to unlock the vast potential of our mineral reserves, driving economic transformation through innovation, mineral beneficiation, and value addition. Are you ready to be part of the next chapter? Explore cutting-edge advancements and discover endless opportunities in Zimbabwe's expanding mining value chains at the 27th edition of Mine Entra, taking place from July 17 to 19, 2024 at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center in Bulawayo. Register via our website www.zitf.co.zw. Mine Entra 2024, unearthing success, the mining value chains, innovation and industrialization nexus.
In the heart of Zimbabwe, where the sun kisses the earth, lies a world of endless opportunity.
Here, amidst the vibrant colors and lively exchanges, the spirit of abundance lives. Allow yourself the opportunity to connect and innovate. See the future of your business at the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show.
Filled with ideas, new and radical, that are cultivating prosperity, growing business, innovating for change, and nurturing our future. From agriculture to agribusiness, and from agricultural education to agri-tourism, every sector finds a place to flourish here, where companies unveil their latest innovations and network with current and potential markets. SAS 2024, where the future of all business sectors is being written today.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You are still watching the Sunday edition. Yvonne, have you ever heard or are you familiar with black snow?
Black snow?
Yes,
no.
black snow.
White snow is a mystery to me. What of black snow? Like white snow and crazy.
Oh.
Black.
Okay, I see. Well, we are about to find out at least something about black snow in our This and That feature. Up next.
It is midday and Mr. Tanzan Mpambiki, a sugarcane farmer, and his workers are about to burn a section of a cane field to start harvesting. The process starts with the creation of fire guards around the section of the field that needs to be burnt to avoid fire jams. Then a fire is started at the corner of the field. In a few seconds, the cane burn lights up the sky, creating a big bright whoosh. Then in a few minutes, it's done, leaving behind ash in the air, popularly known as the black snow. Mr. Mpambiki says as the sugarcane food goes up in flames, he can almost smell the sweet scent of money on the way.
Tinenge takuchiwana mari dzekutambisa vashandi yatingati income generation yedu ndo painotanga ma cash flows emurimi ndo paanotanga kuritena achidzoka uko homwe yemurimi pa 11th month yedu tinoisa nzimbe yedu pa dry off. Nzimbe yedu ya dryer tinozoinda pa stage yekuvhura inonzi fire line tinovhura maline maviri otemwa pochena mopatsvaira so that pamunotanga kupisa moto moto wenyu hauzoiti yatinoti fire jam.
Burns may be an occupational hazard in pre-harvest sugarcane burning, but for the workers it's just a small price to pay for putting food on the table for their families.
6 years ndichirova cutting kutsva zviriko tuzotombowanikwa pamwe pacho tinotombotsva tichitombobwanda paita overjump pamwe pacho sezvo tonga tichitongoshingirira sezvo paripo pane mari.
Tinozama kuti tinge tichilaita mhepo yedu takatarira mhepo yedu tiri kufamba sei
uye ishoma here kuti tilaite kana yakawandisa tinotenderwa kuti timire.
Historically, all sugarcane was burnt before harvest to make cutting sugarcane by hand easier, and the Zimbabwe sugar industry is still using this method, although it poses threats to the environment. However, green harvesting, which harnesses mechanical harvesters to separate sugarcane leaves and tops from the sugar-bearing stalk, is the alternative to sugarcane pre-harvest burning. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
Well, at least today I learned something new, and that's what we call black snow. Up next is our science and technology feature. In a significant development for Zimbabwe's green economy, a new model of a biogas digester, which is more efficient and cost-effective, has been introduced on the market. A Sizinda area just outside Victoria Falls in Matabeleland North Province boasts of these efficient biogas digesters.
Known as prefabricated biogas digester, it has a lifespan of over 20 years and it captures methane gas produced by the decomposition of organic waste such as cow dung. What is even more stunning is that it comes with components which are assembled on site.
We call it a feeding tank. Every day we put 3 buckets of manure with 3 buckets of water. So 1:2, right? And then we mix it in here, and then we open up with the flange pipe. When you open the flange pipe, it goes into the inlet pipe, right into the biodigester.
It is made up of high-density tri-extruded material which can withstand pressure and extreme weather conditions.
Now, with this new technology, this material that is used to make this, it is UV resistant. It can withstand the African harsh weather.
The technology has some safety features as well.
With the pressure release valve, what happens is we fill it with water. We have a pipe that goes in there. It is 22 centimeters long. And then we just fill it up with water. When it's 22 millimeters full of water, it means we have 22 millibars of pressure that we can contain from the gas, from the biofertilizer going into the kitchen. The gas, when you are using it, it will go through this pipe into what we call our filter. This is our gas filter. With this gas filter, we have what we call an iron hole. What happens with it, it acts against hydrogen sulfide. With hydrogen sulfide, we do not want it, so it acts against it, and then you just have methane going through inside the kitchen. There is no hydrogen sulfide that is going through because hydrogen is highly flammable. We do not want it.
Renewable energy enthusiasts fork out less to set up prefabricated biogas digesters compared to the dome-shaped one.
And with the dome systems, they are very expensive as compared to these ones. These, they are manageable and easy to maintain. You can maintain them on your own, whereas with the dome type, you need professional assistance.
Biogas digesters do not only contribute to a greener environment by producing clean energy, but also empower communities by decreasing their dependence on dwindling firewood resources while earning cash through the sale of manure. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Wange.
On that note, we take a break. We will be back with Sports Buzz. To stay with us.
Give every morning the smart start it deserves with your favorite homegrown breakfast cereal. Nestle Ceravita. Fortified with Grain Smart, a smart combination of ions, vitamins and minerals. Your family gets all the energy they need to make the most of every day. That's why every morning deserves a smart start. Nestle Ceravita. Highly nutritious, simply delicious.
The Commission of Inquiry into the Harare City Council governance would like to inform the public and those with vested interests of the commencement of public hearings for the Commission of Inquiry. The public hearings will begin on 24 June 2024 from 09:30 hours. The hearings will be held at the Disaster Management Center, Old Makombe Complex, corner Herbert Chitepo and Harare Street in Harare. Members of the public, stakeholders, and interested parties are free to attend the hearings.
In today's fast-paced world, paying in ZIG is not just about exchanging physical cash. It's about tapping into the electronic payment space, where convenience meets technology. On Zimbabwe's stable, safe, sound, and efficient national payment system, experience seamless transactions at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join the future of payments today with ZIG. Secure, reliable, effortless. Pay the smart way. Pay with ZIG.
Mama said, don't work hard, work soft, it'll be alright. So soft, soft care. Soft, soft care. Soft care.
Thank you for staying with us. Caps United and Highlanders are back to winning ways after clinching crucial victories in Sunday's Kasulaga Premier League match 16 matches.
Caps United have retraced their footsteps after beating Chegutu Pirates by 2-1 at Rufaro Stadium this Sunday. Caps United took the lead courtesy of William Manonto. However, the goal attracted delay on the restart as Chegutu Pirates fans started throwing missiles onto the pitch in protest. Chegutu Pirates did find a way back into the match after play resumed, but the goal was not enough as William Manonto netted the winner for Caps United to seal maximum points at home. In Bulawayo, Highlanders also basked in glory after beating Wanke by a solitary strike to clinch the full 3 points out of the tie at Babafield Stadium. Marvin Sibanda was the hero for Boso as his goal was all that his side needed to finally remember how it feels like to win. Yada's trip to the Greenfield Arena was fruitless as they walked away 1-0 losers to Greenfield, while Manyika Diamonds and Dynamos could not be separated in a goalless draw. Reynald Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Ambitious Northern Region Soccer League side Scotland are proving to be a force to reckon with in the Division 1 league after ascending to third position this weekend.
Northern Region Soccer League new boys Scotland are giving the big guns a headache as they have proved to be active in the promotion race despite it being their debut season. Scotland beat former Premier Soccer League side Black Mambas by a 0-0 on Saturday to leapfrog Moors FC in third position of the league standings after 15 matches in the current season, and their position was cemented after Moors FC lost to Agama FC on Sunday. The victory took Scotland to 29 points, which is 5 points off the pace of log leaders Harare City and second-placed Black Rhinos, who are both on 34 points. Meanwhile, the tie is still wide open in the Northern Region League after Harare City succumbed to their first defeat of the season against Chinoi Stars, whilst Black Rhinos could only manage a point against Golden Eagles this weekend. City failed to extend their lead at the summit this Sunday, falling prey to Agama on the road, leaving room for Rhinos and Scotland to catch up. Fourth-placed Moors will also be counting on their chances, but will need to get rid of their inconsistency to mount a serious challenge on the promotion race. In other matches, Cranbourne Bullets edged DZ Royal Stars 2-1, Shamba Mine beat Zambezi Gas & Co by 1-0, Trojan Stars and Palm FC shared the spoils in a 1-0 stalemate, while Banget United and Karoi United were involved in a goalless draw. Reynald Ngwarati, ZBC News.
The Zimbabwe Under-19 women's cricket team, the Young Lady Chevrons, have completed a remarkable 6-0 series whitewash over regional rivals Namibia Under-19 after a 40-run win this Sunday.
The Zimbabwe Under-19 women's cricket team continued on song this Sunday as they clinched a series-sealing victory over Namibia Under-19. The Zimbabwe Under-19 women batted first and posted a score of 104 runs for 6 wickets in their 20 overs as Moatile and Kanjosa slowed the innings with a combined 3 scalps. 15-year-old Beta, beloved Biza, could not continue her usual prospects which have seen her scoring 450s in the series as she was bowled out on 19 runs. After her dismissal, Runyararo Pasipanojga took responsibility to maintain a solid Namibian bowling attack fronted by Mwatile, who took 2 wickets for 22 runs. Pasipanojga stood tall at the crease as she scored 42 runs not out to help Zimbabwe leap over the 100-run mark, which was more than enough to defend for Zimbabwe. In response, Namibia under-19 women struggled with the beat, as has been the case all series long, managing only 64 runs in 12.5 overs. Kellyson Lovo showed no mercy to the Namibian beaters as she took 4 wickets for 12 runs, while Wuhlemekosi Maposa took 3 scalps for 5 runs to crush Namibia. The all-place Namibia side could only watch in silence as the Zimbabwe under-19 women won by 40 runs to conclude a one-way series emphatically. The victory means the young Lady Chevrons have completed a 6-0 series whitewash, having tested no defeat during the 6-match series. Reynold Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Players and officials were in Victoria Falls this weekend for the 10th edition of the Tug of War Champions were impressed by Zimbabwe's hospitality.
The 2-day tournament held at Chinotimba Stadium in Victoria Falls saw Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia and Ghana battle it out in a display of strength, strategy and teamwork. What is most stunning about the tournament is the indelible mark it left in the minds of participants and officials.
The way we were invited, the way we were welcomed and still being welcomed in Zimbabwe is unreal. Not even, we sometimes don't even experience in our own country, but with our own people. So yeah, so far pleasant experience, very, very nice experience. We'll definitely come back to Zimbabwe.
It has exposed us, to the tourism sites in this great resort area of Victoria Falls.
Basically all of the lodges here in Zimbabwe, in Victoria Falls, have been booked out. So there's a major impetus locally, but I think also larger for the greater Zimbabwe.
They're going to market this place. I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to come here.
South Africa scooped gold in all categories, and these are 520 kgs ladies, 640 kgs men, 720 kgs men and mixed. Victoria Falls has emerged a strong contender in the world of sports tourism. This weekend's Tug of War triumph is sure to inspire future international events, pulling in athletes and spectators from all corners of the globe. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Victoria Falls indeed proving to be a hub for sport tourism. Yesterday it was golf, today is tug of war. So yeah, kudos to it for promoting the brand as Zimbabwe. Off to a breather, we will be back with showbiz.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe announces a new initiative to ensure sufficient local currency in circulation. Starting June 10, swipe for Zig Cash at any HomeLink branch using your debit or credit card. Available in your Zig denominations 1, 2, 5, and 10 Zig. You can exchange your foreign currency for Zig Cash at the prevailing interbank exchange rate. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is ensuring that adequate Zig Cash is available for all, be it in public transportation, retailers, informal traders, and other key stakeholders. For more information, visit your nearest HomeLink branch. Thank you.
our showbiz tonight, artists in Zimbabwe can expect sustained backing and resources as the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe gears up to drive growth and progress in the sector.
With his new appointment as director of the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe, Mr. Napoleon Nyani is dedicated to establish a favorable environment that promotes creativity, innovation and excellence in the arts sector.
The National Arts Council of Zimbabwe is established for that very purpose of making sure that we create a conducive working environment for artists in the country. We regulate their work.
Better access to information on grant funding and investment in infrastructure development are essential for the sector's growth.
We've got funding partners that come through every year with different opportunities. I can mention funders like the European Union, funders like the Culture Fund, UNESCO. They come up every year with different specific areas that they would like to target and artists that they like to target. And sometimes this information does not get to the artists. In terms of infrastructure development, there's been plans to create culture centers around the country in the different provinces.
True to its mission, the National Arts Council of Zimbabwe is working tirelessly to provide the arts sector with the necessary support and resources, thereby creating an enabling environment for artistic expression and innovation to flourish. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
Wingedi's EAA has displaced Killer T's Kanandanyura, which has been on the top spot for several weeks on Power FM's chat show.
Love songs are proving to be the people's choice as the pole position has been claimed by yet another love song, EAA by Winky D, taking over the first position from Killer T's Kanandanyura. Killer T is however not far from glory as he sits on the second position with Holly Ten's Madafela as well as Kutsamakune Leba by Misha Tees making it to the top 4. Gemma Griffiths with her song Where I'm Going is this week's biggest climber, moving 11 places up the ladder from number 29 last week to 18. Fire Brigade by Julian King featuring Freeman and Danzi remix by Master H featuring All Stars joined the rest, taking the 23rd and 28th positions respectively.
They know that I eat beats, I'm famous but drive through. I'm famous cause I'm cool, I was famous in high school.
New music to look out for includes Shashel's Nemoyo, Majarajita, a collaborative effort by Nisha Tees and Master H, as well as another collaboration Rima by Denzel and All Stars. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Satani oda kunyangira kana madoza nofarwa banenge boda kufambira ainon dimishenyi deze kunye pandemic.
It was entertainment galore in Harare as music lovers were treated to various shows over the weekend, ranging from traditional dance, fashion shows and other music groups at different joints in the capital city.
On Friday in Epworth, the traditional dance group from Epworth High School had a captivating performance. On Saturday evening, the National Art Gallery of Zimbabwe played host to a lifestyle fashion extravaganza and exhibition. The Chibuku Neshangware Harare Province Finals showcased traditional dance groups in the Harasekwa suburb this Saturday. This Sunday at Gawa restaurant, Mbeu captivated the crowd with his Afrofusion melodies, leaving his fans asking for more. Tarema to you. ZBC News.
Well, it was an interesting weekend in terms of entertainment, and that was it for our Sunday edition. And for myself, Joyce Mabika, Yvonne Kondani, Peaceway Jomunika, and the rest of the crew, we do leave you watching our video of the
Getting tongue-tied at the end of the bulletin. Joyce, is everything okay?
No, man. I was waiting for you to tell us what is the video of the week.
Okay, our video of the week is Amalanga, Our Funny by Mzo 7, featuring Tandi Dlana and Ladi in Shona. We're simply saying Mazua Fanani. So whatever it is that you're going through, if it is a rough patch, just know Amalanga, Our Funny.